Is there anything you guys want to throw at me? I've been here for 4 days now.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
Is there anything, football or otherwise, you really want to know here, Brock?
Otherwise, too. We can go off the football board.
You can hit whatever you want.
I want to go football first, and I want to stay with New England, obviously. TJ, you can get to the Cowboys in a second.
I'm giving him a lot of Cowboys.
A lot of internet chatter about trade possibilities, deadline in a few weeks. Could a wide receiver be on the move, headed to Foxborough? Are the Patriots looking at wide receivers right now, Tom?
I don't view wide receiver as a spot that they're looking because Stephon Diggs has come on. I know the production wasn't there. You know, he had the big game against Buffalo, then not so much last week. But Diggs looks like Diggs again. Kayshon Boutte is one of the undertold stories in the NFL right now. He has played really well, and he's had some really productive games, and he's got the height, weight, speed you look for. And then Pop Douglas is a really fun weapon. I don't personally, based on what I know, I don't believe that that's a target. Now, could the Patriots potentially upgrade other positions? Remember, they lost Antonio Gibson. I don't know that they can trust Ramondre Stevenson just based upon the ongoing fumble issues. And Travion Henderson, for whatever reason, just hasn't gotten going. The thinking going into the season was they would use all three of those running backs. Losing Gibson both in the return phase and in the backfield was a pretty big loss. I would just say, to me, doesn't mean that they won't trade for a wide receiver, but all things equal, I'd say there's a better chance you see them trade for a running back than a wide receiver.
Really? So not going to get the big, A.J. Brown, Chris Olave, that type of splash deal for
If something drops into your lap, you don't say no, but they are paying Diggs $20+ million right now. If you're talking about taking on a bunch of salary for another wide receiver, again, never say never. Anything's possible, but I would view running back. I'd probably view edge. Those as being more pressing needs if the Patriots are looking for an upgrade than wide receiver.
You mentioned Mac Jones. He's played great with San Francisco. I think we can all agree with that. Suffered his first loss over the weekend, but 3-1 as a starter filling in for Brock Purdy. He has a 2-year contract. Are teams thinking about possibly calling the 49ers about Mac Jones being a starter next year, or could he possibly make Purdy's seat a little warm?
It's a good question on the trade front because we have seen him play at a high level. He's hurt. I mean, Mac's playing through a knee injury right now, and you see that with the brace that he's had on. I think he also had an oblique going into the game last week. Like he is laboring at times, but he's played at a high level. If I'm Kyle Shanahan and I've got the best bargain backup in the league, not just for the rest of this season, but for 2026, I'm going to want a premium price if I'm even thinking of letting that guy go, especially because the only thing that's held back Brock Purdy in his career is injuries. Right. He has been banged up. He's not the biggest guy. I don't even know if I'd call him injury prone because some of these things are just total freak deals. The elbow he had in his first year, now this toe injury that he aggravated once again. Like history would tell you, Brock might miss a little bit of time in the coming years. If there's one position you need a backup plan at, it's quarterback. And that's why they had Brock Purdy when they were going into the season with Trey Lance. That's why you had multiple quarterbacks when it was Jimmy and it was Trey. Like you've always wanted to have multiple options at that position because once you lose somebody, if you don't have a guy you think you can win with, you're essentially punting on the season. So possible they would get a call, especially if other quarterbacks go down. I just find it hard to believe that Kyle wants to let that guy out of the building.
Yeah. Is Purdy going to play this week, you think?
Well, we'll see. They practice later on this afternoon. If he's not practicing today, I don't think that he's going to play. But the way that Mac is playing, it certainly eases some of the pressure in terms of getting Brock back onto the field, as much as I'm sure he's chomping at the bit here. It seems like he's in play. There's at least a chance. But if he doesn't practice today, I would think that would probably rule him out for Sunday.
And George Kittle?
Kittle seems like he's got a better chance. He's at least going to practice this week. Knowing George, the moment that he gets back on the field and huffs the smelling salts, like he's going to think that he can go out and play 70 snaps. So I'd say, it seems like a pretty decent chance. It's going to depend how he looks in practice. But again, knowing Kittle's mentality, he's practicing. He thinks he's going to play.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.